What's up, everyone? In today's video, I'm going to show you 5 books that I sourced using Flipmine that I sold profitably on Amazon. And this is just to show you that it's still possible to use Flipmine to find great books. So let's get right into it. All right, so the first book that we flipped is called A Marvelous Garland of Rare Gems. If we scroll down to the Keepa chart, one thing that you'll notice about this book is that the sales rank doesn't drop all the time, but it definitely does drop, which indicates that the book is selling, is becoming more popular. And if we look at the black line, which represents the lowest used price over time, you can see generally it's well over $100. So, this is something that I was able to find on eBay. You can see I was able to buy it for $51.12. I was actually able to find 2 copies there. And if we come back over to Amazon and scroll down to the orders page on the seller app, you'll see that I've actually flipped it twice for $160 each time. So really great profit on this book. Again, this was sourced using Flipmine. You can see that, buy cost of $51, sell price of $160. We made a $72 profit per book. So we made $140 just on one book, 2 copies of that one book. So basically Flipmine, I think it's a $49 per month subscription. So, we just paid for, almost 3 months of Flipmine with just one book. By the way, guys, I do have a link down below if you guys want an extended free trial. So if you want to snag that, feel free to do so. All right, the next books that we snagged is called Thermodynamics and Statistical Mechanics. So we actually picked this up for $17.32. And here's the order total. We bought this in March. So this one did take a little while to sell as well. But if we scroll down to the Keepa chart, one thing that you'll notice again is that we do see the sales rank dropping, which indicates that the book is actually selling. And when we use our cursor to hover over the lowest used price, you can see that it's kind of up here in the 50s. So this was selling for at least $50, and it was kind of in the $30 range. I was able to pick mine up for $17, which is actually the cheapest price that the book has ever been over the last year. And that's a really good rule of thumb, is that if you're buying a book, or if you can buy it at the cheapest that has ever been offered, or preferably even lower than that, then you're probably going to do really well on that book. And so here's a great example of a book that did very well. If I scroll down to the orders tab on Seller Amp, you'll see that I did actually sell it 7 days ago for $58.75. And that left us with a $21 profit. So again, just a bread and butter book, nothing too crazy about that, but tons and tons of books like that are on Flipmine, where you can buy them for $20 and sell them for $40, $50, $60 and do it all the time. And let's go to the next book. All right, the next book is Genomic Essentials for Graduate Level Nurses, a very, very niche book, obviously. I was able to source this for $40 on eBay, and you can see I actually bought this in May. And a really cool thing about this is that there's actually there wasn't a stock photo image. There's actually an image that the seller took. It's always nice to get an image of the actual product so you know that what you're buying is the actual real deal. But anyways, you scroll down to the Keepa chart. Again, this is something that has had, very consistent sales rank drops when the lowest used price has been over $100. And basically, there's been a new offer on this listing for about $99. So I think basically that's probably just one seller who has probably multiple in stock. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's probably this person who has 10 in stock, but they're also plus $15 shipping. So, I was able to pick this up for $40. Basically, this book has never been anywhere near that price, as cheap as that, price. Over literally the last, 5, 6, 7 years, the used price has almost always been higher than that. Actually, we can come down to statistic and we can see the lowest it's ever been. So it looks like the lowest it's ever been was September 30th of 2020. So that would be right here, actually. Yeah, so I can zoom in. So basically it was, pretty cheap for a very short period of time. But otherwise, this book has been very expensive. Again, if we scroll down to Seller App and look at the orders tab, you can see that we flipped it for $108. And that left us with a profit of $41. So almost enough to pay for a Flipmine subscription, just one book. And really quick, everyone, I want to let you know that I do have a free Discord. If you're new to reselling books on Amazon, even if you're intermediate or advanced, so feel free to join the Discord. There's a ton of really knowledgeable people in there, a lot of beginners as well, but there's just tons of really great resources there, especially if you're new and you kind of want to ask some questions if you want to build community. It's absolutely free. Grab it down below. And All right, the next book that we flipped is called Process Pipe Drafting. Now, if we scroll down the Keepa chart, this is an interesting book because this was actually really expensive back January, February, April, March, April, May. It was in the $75 range with multiple sales rank drops, so it was selling for over that. But previously in November, it was actually in the $15 to $20 range. Then in May, it got down to $50, and then now it's actually down to $15. So actually, the used offer count, if you look at the used offer count, is actually not really that much higher than it was back when it was selling for some pretty good money. And in a grand historical scheme of this book, the used offer count isn't really high at all. This is definitely a book that I would really recommend that you track because it definitely ebbs and flows a lot. And as a matter of fact, I'm actually going to try to go pick up a copy of this if I can. But I was able to find this using Flipmine, and you can see here's the eBay purchase. I bought this also in May. Bought it for $15 plus shipping, so $22. $22.88 out the door. And again, we can scroll down to the orders page. And I was actually able to flip it on September 1st, so a month ago for $94. That left us with a $47 profit. So basically a Flipmine subscription. And again, when I sold it was actually, right during this time, September 1st, when the lowest use price was right around 15. So what's really fascinating about this book is that generally you think that if I was going to sell for 90, it would be during the time when the lowest use price was 70 or 80 bucks, because then there's a more reasonable prime gap. But clearly if there's offers available at 15 and someone bought at 90, I did definitely exploit the buy box there. But again, this is something that has held some good historical data, has shown in the past that it can go up and down in price. So, I'm going to try to, if I can find or grab another copy of this book. I think, we can actually probably maybe grab it for under 22. It looks like there's 3 copies available. This person has 100% feedback, but they only have 7 ratings. So I'm not too sure if I want to buy one of those acceptable copies. Maybe we'll test it out and buy one. But, if we were able to buy this $14.78 plus $3.99, basically if we could sell it for what we sold for in the past, we'd make a killing. But the good news is that, if we bought it for 18, we wouldn't even have to sell it for 94 to be profitable. We could probably sell for 50 and make some good money. And I think this is a book that will definitely sell for 50 again in the future, because this is, I'm pretty sure, a pretty old book. Yeah, if we scroll down, this has been out for almost 20 years already, which is a book that's quite old. It's shown repeated history of selling, and it's a 3rd edition. There might be a new edition out as well, but clearly it's a book that does pretty well. Now, also, we could check on eBay to reverse source, and it looks like we got maybe an offer for 35, and then I think this is probably the previous edition there. So, it's kind of up to you whether or not you'd want to try to buy this acceptable condition. Sometimes I'll try, especially if they have good feedback. If this person had a lot more feedback, like if they had 50 or 100 feedback or more than that, and they had 100% feedback, I probably would buy, right? Because, think about it. Like, these people have 73% and 87%, and they're listing very good and good. It's likely that, these people have such low ratings because they overvalue books. This very good copy can very well be an acceptable copy, and this acceptable copy by this seller could very well be a good copy. So, it's kind of the name of the game buying on eBay and Amazon. It's kind of hard to vet with consistency kind of what sellers are going to give you, but using the feedback percentage and the rating, it's probably going to be your best bet at guessing whether or not someone over promises or under promises. So in this case, I'll probably just buy one, see how it goes. Worst case scenario, it gets sent to the prep center and I can just for free return shipping label if it's in terrible condition, which probably is not going to be, considering that there's 7 ratings and this person has good feedback. All right, the last book I'm going to show you is Real and Complex Analysis. So this is a book that, if we look at the Keepa chart, actually is selling really well all the time, right around the $100 marks, even higher than that. Great sales rank drops there. And this is something I was able to pick up on eBay for $41.99 here. And if I scroll down here to Seller Amp and look at orders, you can see I was able to sell it for $105. And that left us with a profit of $36.85. Something that, probably sold relatively quickly because of the sales rank there. Just a bread and butter flip, and something that you should be trying to pick up. So this is just a video on kind of what sold, just to show you that I'm still selling books that I bought using Flipmine. I'm still actively buying books using Flipmine because it's a great resource. I've got tons of Flipmine videos on my channel, so feel free to check those out. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.